One Piece chapter 1058 just dropped, so it's time to talk about One Piece chapter 1059. Today we're going to be talking about where the base of Cross Guild is, as well as the future members of Cross Guild. This recent chapter of One Piece showed us the Straw Hat bounties, Mihawk's bounty, but most importantly, the actual leader of Cross Guild. And it turns out to be our favorite Sandman, Crocodile. Now, Crocodile, he was the man that terrorized Alabasta by taking away the rain, making people suffer and starve, as well as destroying the Nefertari family. And the only reason he did all of this was for the ancient weapon Pluton, in which he didn't even manage to gather. And just so we're on the same page, Cross Guild is this new team. It's a new guild in the One Piece story that consists of Crocodile, Buggy, and Mihawk. It seems like to me Oda's bringing back these former warlords of the story back into the limelight by using Cross Guild. Now, it's not exactly clear what the goal of Cross Guild is, but it doesn't really matter. There's a lot of details that we know about these three characters and the Cross Guild itself that lead us to certain conclusions and a lot of different ideas we're gonna explore today. For an example, it's very interesting to me how Crocodile was the founder of Cross Guild, yet he invited someone like Mihawk to join the crew. And it's crazy because Mihawk actually accepted. Knowing how Mihawk is, how he's a solo man, he doesn't really follow anybody, he doesn't have a crew, I find it very interesting that he accepted. There must be some kind of goal between these two characters. Whether it's them going for the One Piece, Captain John's treasure, the national treasure, who knows? There is some kind of overarching goal. There is something magnificent that they're going after. And whatever it is, it's gonna give them an edge over the competition for people that are trying to become Pirate King, and it's also going to help them take on the world government and the Marines. And regardless of whatever their goal is, there are a lot of key details that we know about Crocodile, Buggy, and Mihawk that we're going to explore today, and we're going to learn these true dark secrets about the Cross Guild. First of all, when we look at people like Blackbeard, it's very interesting that he has a home base located at Hachinosu Island. Hachinosu Island was the original home of the Rocks Pirates, but let's keep that in mind. Blackbeard's base is Hachinosu Island. Then we have someone like Kaido who decided to station at Wano. Wano is the land of the samurai, the home of Pluton, but regardless, Wano is the station of Kaido. Then we have Big Mom, who is stationed at Totaland, the country of sweets, the home of candy. She decided to live on Whole Cake Island. That is her base. Now it begs the question, where is the home? Where is the base of the Cross Guild? One option we have is Orange Town. Sure, it's one of the first islands and one of the first towns we saw in the story. It's connected to Buggy, but I'm not entirely sure if Crocodile and say Mihawk would want to choose a location like that for the base. It's in paradise. Nobody knows about devil fruits. It's small. I don't think Orange Town would be the home of the Cross Guild. Then we have something like Punk Hazard. At least Punk Hazard's in the New World, maybe underground connections, all the scientists and science going on there. I still don't really see that being the case. Like, why would Crocodile out of all islands pick Punk Hazard? Seems kind of random. To me, the most likely conclusion is that the home of Cross Guild is actually Impel Down. Now with Impel Down, there's a lot of level 6 prisoners that are not only strong, but probably have a lot of information about the world. Controlling Impel Down could give them connections to the underworld, as well as all these notorious pirates that the world government's trying to silence. I also find it very interesting from a narrative aspect how Crocodile and Buggy were broken out of Impel Down earlier in the story because of Luffy. So for them to go to Impel Down now and take over it, it's almost like a reverse. They went from being broken out of Impel Down to now breaking into Impel Down. And I know a lot of people are going to say,
well, the Marines in Akainu, they could just attack Impel Down and win it back.
But the problem with that line of thinking is in recent chapters, Akainu was talking about how the Marines are spread thin. They were dealing with the Reverie, trying to deal with Wano, like they don't have enough resources to also go after warlords and then win back Impel Down. It seems like it would be something pretty easy for Crocodile, Buggy, and Mihawk to do. Just go to Impel Down, try to either defeat or recruit Magellan, and then just, you know, take it over for themselves. And like I said, this will give them a huge edge, not only over the Marines in the story, but also random pirate crews, everyone else going for the One Piece and the ancient weapons. I see this course of actions happening. They are going to go after Impel Down and make that their home base. This is going to be a fat dub for the former warlords. Now I actually want to talk about the future recruits for Cross Guild, and the first one that comes to mind is Bon Clay. Not only is Bon Clay really fun and really enjoyable to the story, and I could see Oda bringing him back, but he's also very useful for something like Cross Guild. He could pretend to be an admiral, a warlord, a guard, like who knows, he could easily manipulate people and be very useful to Cross Guild. It also helps knowing that he is alive. A lot of anime only watchers don't know this, but in the manga, in chapter 666, we see Bon Clay on the cover, and Oda is concluding that he never died. Because from what we last saw, he was approached by Magellan and they had some kind of duel, some kind of fight, into which a lot of people thought that Bon Clay was gonna die from. But again, it turns out to not be true. Bon Clay is safe and sound. So seeing how he's alive and Impel Down and could be useful to Cross Guild, why not just recruit him? And another member I could definitely see joining Cross Guild is Doflamingo. Not only is he a fan favorite, and Oda loves to bend to fan favorites, because don't forget, the streets are saying that Oda made Law important because he was so popular. Why wouldn't they bring someone back like Doflamingo? He's one of the most beloved antagonists in the entire story. He's very evil, very charming personality, and like this great backstory. Why not have him relevant again? And it's fitting the theme what we see with Cross Guild, former Warlord members, Crocodile, Buggy, Mihawk. So to throw Doflamingo into the mix, it follows that theme, it makes him relevant again, is so far just W's with this theory. And an interesting detail I want to point out as far as Doflamingo joining Cross Guild goes, we have to look at Marineford War. Back then, Doflamingo was very upset with Crocodile because Crocodile refused to join Doflamingo's crew. And I find this very interesting because Crocodile isn't that strong. He himself didn't have Haki, yet the Sea Otters from Alabasta did have Haki. The power strength between Crocodile and Doflamingo, I'd imagine, is very large, so I don't know if Doflamingo would want Crocodile for him being strong. I think there's a deeper connection between these two characters that Oda has not yet displayed. And just because it hasn't been shown yet, that doesn't mean that it's not the case or that we'll never see it. But this is classic Oda writing style. Have Doflamingo beg Crocodile to join him just for Doflamingo to get locked up, and then have Crocodile make his own crew called Cross Guild and break Doflamingo and have Doflamingo work for him instead. Another interesting detail between Crocodile and Doflamingo is how similar they are written. Both characters lead a dark, mysterious organization from the shadows of a country, and both characters are manipulating countries with the masses not even knowing about them. Crocodile goes by the secret alias of Mr. Zero, and Doflamingo goes by the secret alias of Joker. Crocodile has his own group called Baroque Works, and Doflamingo's an underground broker. And finally, Crocodile's from Paradise, meanwhile Doflamingo's from the New World, having them act as almost like inversions to each other. So seeing how they're similar in personality, Doflamingo wanted to work with Crocodile, and now Crocodile's leading this former Warlord team, it seems like there are a lot of pre-established connections between Crocodile and Doflamingo that justifies Doflamingo joining the Cross Guild. And another interesting detail about Doflamingo is his knowledge about the National Treasure. Now, whether you think it's Emu, an ancient weapon, an item, the straw hat, no matter what you think it is, I think this top secret information will serve someone like Mihawk, Buggy, and especially Crocodile very well. So not only does Doflamingo have the connections to the underworld, not only does he have knowledge about the National Treasure, but he's a powerhouse as well. So no matter which way you spin it, Doflamingo more than anybody deserves a role in Cross Guild. Now I know a lot of people will argue that Doflamingo knows too much to be released or join Cross Guild, but I would have to disagree, because Doflamingo knowing about the National Treasure, him being a celestial dragon, was the case way before he was even locked up and Impel down. So if he was walking around Dressrosa, if he was going all around the New World with this knowledge about the National Treasure, why was that the case? Why didn't he just say something? So for Doflamingo to be broken out of Impel down and play a role in Cross Guild now, I don't see why that would be any kind of narrative issue. So this whole concept of Crocodile making his own group called Cross Guild, stationed at Impel down, having members like Buggy, Mihawk, Doflamingo, Magellan, and Bon Clay on his side, this creates one of the biggest threats to ever face the One Piece world. The future king of the world, the one who sits on the empty throne with the most broken devil fruit in existence, is going to get his reign and shine. All of the naysayers will face his wrath once his Toby aka Obito plan comes to fruition, and everyone will bow down to Rock's D Buggy. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.